Hey, kia ora. Helen Brums here, coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling day. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 1877, Eating Like a Hobbit. And you're probably going, wait, what? Did you know that on Sunday, which is the 22nd of September, and the 22nd of September every year is Eat Like a Hobbit Day? And I did not know this. I found out this on Facebook this morning because one of my favorite authors who I follow on Facebook, I follow several of my authors on Facebook and Instagram and all of that sort of thing, put that it was she is a huge Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, Tolkien fan, and so she discovered that it's going to be Eat Like a Hobbit Day on Sunday, the 22nd of September. And so her thing was sort of like, what do I do? And she even has 3 dogs, and her dogs' names are Samwise, Precious, and Frodo. That was so cute. And these little tiny dogs. She had a picture of them all together in this little bed thing. That was so cute. And I was sort of like, Eat Like a Hobbit Day on the 22nd. The anniversary of Brad's passing is on the 24th, which is Tuesday, and I have to work that day. And normally on an anniversary of Brad's passing, I do a Lord of the Rings trilogy or a Hobbit trilogy or one of the 2 Star Wars trilogies, and either the original ones that came out in the 70s and the 80s or the later ones that came out, the first 3 chapters that came out later on. But I thought, what a perfect time on Sunday to do Eat Like a Hobbit Day while I watch the extended version of the Hobbit trilogy. Now, the extended version of the Hobbit trilogy, when you put all 3 movies together, is just under 9 hours. I figure that's a good way to spend a day because it honors Brad's memory, and it just gets me out of everything else. It just gives me a break from everything else that I normally do. And so I was sort of like, that sounds like a good scheme. And so I was like, I need to research what does a Hobbit, what are their menu? How many meals do they eat a day? Because I know that they have breakfast and second breakfast and 11sies, and then they're going to have lunch and dinner. And is there anything else in there? Because if you watch the movies, you will find out that they eat a lot. And hobbits like a lot of different, they eat a variety of foods, but it's mainly meats, breads, vegetables, fruits, pastries. What else was in there? Cheese was in there as well. So meat, cheese. Yeah. And I thought, okay. So I had to go and Google, got onto Google, and I said, eat like a Hobbit Day. And, I needed a schedule. I had to have a schedule to start with. And so there were several different ones that came up, and they had all the meals listed. There are 7 meals that these hobbits eat in one day. I thought, that's a lot of food. But then I thought, you eat small portions. I'm not a hobbit. I don't have the metabolism or the ability to eat 7 full meals a day, but I can do small portions 7 times a day. I can do that, no problem at all. And so then I had to find out the timing of all of this. What was the timing of all of this? If I can find the right tab here. I've got so many tabs open, I'm losing myself. Hang on, is it that one? Nope. That's the New Zealand version of it. They had a timetable here. It told me, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. I found it. Phew. So, the timetable loosely translates to when you go through and you see all these different things and you put them all together. But then, of course, you can adjust the times to your own schedule. And they've got like breakfast at 7. Then there's a second breakfast at 9. Then you have 11sies at 11 a.m. Then you have lunch at 1. Afternoon tea at 3 p.m. And in England, they kind of call it high tea. And they probably do it more around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Then you have dinner at 6 p.m. And then you have a supper at 9 p.m. And I'm like thinking, okay, I get up at 5. Yeah, we can do this. We can just bring everything forward a little bit. And I can schedule, work up between the break, having breaks in the movies and that. So I got this down here. So then I was like, okay, what sort of foods am I going to be eating? So after surveying there was a couple of different opinions when it came to breakfast and second breakfast. So I'm kind of going to do a mishmash probably. But for breakfast, now the first breakfast, and one on a couple of sites that described it as that you get out of bed in the morning, you stumble into the kitchen, you grab something to eat, and all I could think of is stumble into the kitchen. Was it the Working 9 to 5 song started going through my head. Stumble out of bed and stumble to the kitchen. Yeah, that started going through my head. Anyway, so and some sites say you do things like baked goods, like muffins, croissants, scones, fresh fruits, like a fresh fruit salad or something like that. Something that is quick and easy to grab and eat, and then you do a tea or a coffee with it that's going to tide you over while you get ready for the day. And then so like I said, I went through a lot of sites. My eyes are like, ugh, I'm surprised they're not bloodshot. Well, they are a little bit. Yep. But basically it boiled down to, some sites said it's just stuff you don't need to heat up. Maybe some toast. You could do some toast if you wanted to do some toast at that time as well. But it's mainly your baked goods, just enough to tide you over until second breakfast. And then after you have first breakfast, then you go and get ready for the day. You go get your shower done, you get your butt, you get dressed for the day, you get the kids up, you get them going. You start your daily routine. The first thing you do is that you break the fast with breakfast by having baked goods, muffins, croissants, scones, that sort of stuff, fruit salads, or even just straight out fruit. Do a bowl of berries or something, maybe put some yogurt on it. You could do some cheeses in there as well, tea, coffee, that sort of thing. And then you get your day started, go walk the dog. I always like to have something to eat before I go and walk the dog, even if it's just like a couple of carrot sticks. I just grab something and go eat. So I probably already do have about that many meals a day when I think about it. And then you go out and you get everything going. And then it's time, 9 a.m., time for second breakfast, which is your hot breakfast, your full breakfast. And a lot of them I saw sort of like, this is kind of like a full English breakfast where you have bacon and sausage and eggs. And I'm not talking sausage patties. I'm talking sausages, like the long sausages, not patties. So bacon, and we're talking English bacon. And I found a place close by that actually has English bacon. And I'm like, yes, it's very different to Canadian bacon. So you've got bacon, eggs, sausages, cooked tomatoes, baked beans, black pudding. I can't find anybody with black pudding though. And what else was on that plate? On toast. So, that's mushrooms. That was the other one. And bread and butter. So you can either do bread and butter or you can do toast and butter. And that's your second breakfast. So it's very, very fulfilling, hearty meal. Got to keep you going. Then at 11 o'clock, so that's at 9 o'clock. Then at 11 o'clock, I'm going to be eating. I'm reading this stuff and I'm going to be eating all day. So I'm just going to graze. So 11sies is kind of like dessert before lunch. But you may have some meats and cheeses in there, almost like a mini charcuterie board. You have tea, maybe small sandwiches, biscuits or cookies. Biscuits, not the scone type biscuits, but the cookies. You can tell I was reading off an English menu, right? Cakes like lemon cake or seed cake. Excuse me. Cup of tea, small sandwiches. So almost, I was like reading the list and going tea, cakes, biscuits, bean cookies, small sandwiches. I thought the only thing not on there is scones with jam and cream, because then it would be a Devonshire tea. I thought, well, it's almost that. Okay, I can do that. Small sandwiches, got it. Cucumber sandwiches, those crust cutter, we can do that. We might do some egg salad sandwiches. I don't know. And then you get to 1 o'clock. So that tides over to 1 o'clock when you have lunch, which has something like a hearty beef or chicken stew. You've got crusty bread and butter. And I was like, oh, crusty bread. And all of a sudden I had this vision of my crusty garlic bread that I make. And it's basically getting the long baguette. And then you put you slice it. Don't go all the way through the slices though, because you're about to break it off. Then you put slices into them, and then I home make garlic butter, and I haven't done that for a while, so I'm really looking forward to this. And you take it and you slather slabs of it in between. So I basically slather it and put slabs in between, and then I brush the whole top of the bread with the garlic butter, and then I get parchment paper and wrap it all up. Now, I used to use aluminium foil, but I don't do that anymore because I was listening to what Nicole said about cleaning up, detoxifying the kitchen. And so I now wrap it in parchment paper, put it in the oven, let it cook for about 10 minutes, and then open up the parchment paper and just let it sit for about 5 minutes in the oven, just to get that nice crunchy, crispy thing. And oh, it's so good. And the butter's all melted through the bread and it breaks off and it's yum. Oh, I'm salivating now. Where did I get to? Oh, yeah, we're talking about lunch. Hearty stews like beef or chicken, crusty bread and thing. Other things I saw on menus too were like doing a soup and a salad or a soup and sandwich. And then it's also got written down. Now, I don't do any meads or ales or anything like that, but at every meal there's always the opportunity to have a mead or an ale there. And this one's got beef and ale pie. I've got no idea what that is, although beef sounds good. Chicken stew with root vegetables. This is where you can do like those small, like Marie Callender pies, little individual ones. You could do those, or soup and a sandwich. So I thought that was okay. I can pare that down so it's just a little small portion. Then come to like 3 o'clock, and it's afternoon tea time, which will be like a charcuterie board with your cheeses and your smoked meats and pickles and stuff like that on there. Have slices of fresh fruit or a fresh fruit salad to go with it. And that's when you do your scones with your clotted cream and jam. Yes, I'm definitely into that one. Then comes 6 o'clock. This is when you do your roasts. You do your roast lamb, your roast chicken, your roast beef. You do your roasted potatoes and carrots. And I was like, oh, roasts. Yeah, I haven't had a carrot and parsnip hash for a while. I tell you, my mum makes this really good. When she used to do, sometimes when she did roast, she would cook up some carrots and cook up some parsnips. And if you don't know what parsnips are, they look like a bleached carrot, but have a different flavor. They're a root vegetable. They put them side by side. They're like a bleached carrot. But you cook them up, then you mash them together, and she threw some butter in there, and they were so good. And then they've even got here like a mushroom risotto. So this is where you're doing your main meal of the day. Lots of cooked stuff, and there'll be bread in there because there's always bread in there. There'll be probably some cheese in there somewhere along the way as well. Then you get to 9 p.m. That's at 6 p.m. So then you get to 9 p.m. We've now had a 3-hour break. Everybody else is always a 2-hour break up to this point. And for supper, I thought, well, I wonder what's for supper. So, supper I thought would be maybe dessert. And that's one thing that you can do. It's like fruit pies were on there with cream. And I'm like thinking, ice cream would be good. Mascarpone cheese would be good too. If you want a good substitute, if you don't want to use ice cream, but you want a good substitute, look for mascarpone cheese. And just take a scoop of that and put it on top of a hot fruit pie, or hot sticky toffee pudding, or something like that. And it kind of melts a little like ice cream, but gives you a very different flavor, and it's very yum. Anyway, back to this. So cold meats and cheeses, so again, like a charcuterie board. They're talking about pies again, fresh bread and ale or mulled wine. Fruit pies, like apple, berry, plum with cream for dessert. And I was like, I'm just like sitting there, I'm thinking, my poor stomach. They also had like pork pies, and in England you get these little pork pies that are about this round and about this high. They were even talking soup. Salad served with fresh herbs and hard-boiled eggs, roasted chicken, rabbit stew. And this is your final meal of the day because it has to hold you over to the next morning. So, things like that. And, they've got steak in there for dinner as well. I'm just going through another one. And one thing that caught my eye was that for afternoon tea on one of the menus they had, on a couple of the menus, they had Bakewell tarts. And Bakewell tarts, why do I know that? Bakewell tarts. I'm like sitting there and going, I'm reading... The book I'm reading right now, one of the books I'm reading right now is Bakewell Tart Bludgeoning. It's one of the Albert Smith culinary capers book. And if you haven't heard about Albert Smith, he is a retired detective inspector superintendent or something like that, some high-ranking detective thing. And he's busy touring the British Isles, and he's chosen his places because they are known for certain dishes. Like the first one is the pork pie one. That's how I learned all about pork pies. And there was a thumb found in a pork pie. So then they had to solve that mystery. Now they're on to Bakewell tarts, and the owner, and there's been like 3 attacks in like 3 days in this area. And they're saying it's bed and breakfast, which is across the kitchen from where he's meant to be learning how to make Bakewell tarts, which aren't actually tarts. They're actually a pudding, not a tart. So I have found out. It's because it's in the book. So I've pulled up the recipe for that and thought, I might give that one a try. What was the other one I had the recipe for? And then, yes, so then on some of them they were talking about the lembas bread, which you see in the movie Lord of the Rings. It's the elven bread that they get given. And I actually found a recipe that said, they attempted to recreate the elven bread. And so I have the recipe for that. So I'm going to give that a go and see how that goes. I mean, it looks like it's going to taste good. It's got orange honey in there, orange zest, orange flower water, almonds, butter, semolina flour, some salt, and some eggs. I'm like thinking, yeah, that could last for a bit. And doesn't take long. You only cook them for 15 minutes. Drop spoonfuls on a hot pizzella, or I got to look up what those things are. I do have an iron frying pan now. I got one the other day. Only because I had a gift certificate. So I went and got, so I went to the site for the gift certificate, and they happen to have iron cookware, and it's got a pan with the long handle on it. Then it's got another pan that sits on top, which has the griddle lines on it. And then it has a lid, and all three of those items can go on the stovetop, or they can go into the oven. So it's like thinking, oh, there's a way that you can cook steak on the stovetop, then you put it in the oven to finish it off. It was within my gift certificate, so I ordered it, got it. I haven't unpacked it yet, but I might be unpacking it this weekend if I'm going to make the elven bread. But anyway, so it's like I said, it's Eating Like a Hobbit Day on Sunday, the 22nd of September. So my question for you is, are you going to participate on the day, and what are you going to eat on the 22nd of September for Eating Like a Hobbit Day? You're just going to have a normal meal, or you're going to, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to have everything pre-made. That'll be tomorrow afternoon after my mastermind group. And here's another really cool reason to do this on Sunday as well, is it's going into triple digits again in Fahrenheit on Sunday for about 10 days. Only just. We're talking 102 to 105 over the next 10 days starting on Sunday. And I was like, damn it, I thought we were done with those. But supposedly it's meant to get back into the hundreds. And I was like, so when I found out it was Hobbit Day on Sunday, I was like, that's a great reason to stay inside. But I do have to do the yard, so that's going to be tomorrow after my mastermind group. Depending on the daylight, I might go and do some tonight, or definitely do some tomorrow. May do some tomorrow before I have to get online, since I get up early. But I don't want to wake the neighbors with my noise. I don't think they'd appreciate me out there mowing lawns at 6 o'clock in the morning and then getting my little leaf blower thingy out to blow all the clippings. And yeah, I know. So that might have to wait till later in the day. But anyway, so I've come to the conclusion. So I'm going to go shopping either tonight or tomorrow and pick up my little bits and pieces. And I'm not going to go heavy on anything. I'm going to make it so it's very light, a very light day. I'm going to do some hard-boiled eggs in there. I love hard-boiled eggs. Probably not going to do the cheese side of things unless it's imported cheese, because I know any cheese that's processed here in America, my stomach has issues with that. But if I get the imported stuff, we'll see. I haven't made a full decision on that. But, I can make the muffins. I can make those. I can make scones. It's real easy to do. So there's stuff in here that I can go ahead and make so it's ready for Sunday. And then it's basically going to be a grazing day. And I have to remember that, if I had friends over to come watch the thing with me, then there would be a full spread put out basically the whole day. But we're just going to do a little grazing day. And I like grazing days because, a little bit here and a little bit there. And I might go get my English bacon because it's so good. I love English bacon. It's good. And yes, you can do it crispy as well. It's a very different taste to the American bacon. Well, I kind of like that too. Yeah, we'll see. So we're going to do some shopping tomorrow and prepare as much of this as possible. I'm definitely going to make my garlic bread, though. I am determined to make my garlic bread, but I'm not going to get a big long stick. I'm just going to get a couple of, just a short baguette, and just make a little mini version of my longer of the French loaf one that I usually make. So if you're going to be participating and I'm going to try and make the elven bread as well. What I'm going to do for the main meal, I don't know. I'll probably just do cold meats and salad, to be honest. And I know bread fills me up, so there's not going to be a lot of bread throughout the day because that just bloats me. So yeah, we're going to be very strategic on when we eat the breads. And if I can find, I wonder if I can find my Wassa crack. I can find my Wassa crackers, because my Wassa crackers, they come in sourdough flavor, which I absolutely love sourdough. And they're from Germany. Germany. And so they don't have the gluten effect on me that breads do. So I might go and grab some of those. But, you know, it's grocery shopping day tomorrow anyway, so I'm just going to make a few adjustments, and so we can have a fun meals on Sunday. And I may even go live throughout the day to show you what I'm having for that meal. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but except for my menu. So let us know what you're going to be doing on Eat Like a Hobbit Day. Just going to treat it like another day. You're going to watch the movie. If you're a Tolkien fan, you're going to be watching the movies that day. Are you going to actually prepare a menu for that day? Oh, actually, if I make a stew and put it in I can't use the crock pot because that's chipped, but I can use my Instapot as a crock pot. So I can make a stew, and then I could go and freeze port. I could put in I can meal prep. I can meal prep for the week and take some of those small portions to use on Sunday. Yes. I might make a stew. I don't know. But I can. Anyway, that's it. I'm out of here. Go out and have a super fantastic sparkling evening. Let us know in the comments below if you are going to be eating like a hobbit on Sunday with us. And we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific. I actually had 2 topics to talk to you about tonight, but I figured I have family back in New Zealand, so I'm giving them a night's warning. It's Saturday down there, so. And I have some cousins who are very much into The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings and all of that sort of thing. So I'm curious to see, are they going to Eat Like a Hobbit Day on Sunday? But anyway, so we've got a topic tomorrow night to talk about back on looking at census reports, missing census reports, how you can find information when you've got missing census. When a census report is missing, how can you find information that would have been on the census report? And we're talking about England and Wales and Scotland. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow evening. So go out, have a super fun